Mr. Campanelli. Brad Nortman, longtime NFL punter, loser of Super Bowl 50. How are you? Does this day mean something more or less to you?
Yeah, I don't know if it's because I experienced the loss of the Super Bowl 8 years ago, but it's one of those things where every day after the Super Bowl, you're saddened that another NFL season has come and gone. So I'm sitting here, reflecting on the season. I love the NFL so much. The Monday after the NFL is over, I'm always a little bit bummed. I'm not going to lie.
It sucks. There's no getting around it. 800-990-3776. 800-990-ESPN. Look, it sucks. And there's no way of getting around it. If you want to say, Kyle, you said it. I'm so excited for the offseason. Get out of my face with that. The offseason, you're going to say that now, but in about 2 months, you'll be like, I can't wait to see what Halfley and Campanelli and then whoever Goody drafts, whoever signed. He's going to be like, I'm done with the offseason. I can already predict the way this brain goes back and forth.
The offseason's one big tease. It's a big tease that leads you up to September to finally play some football. But, I love NFL free agency. I love the draft. But it's just enough football to, wet your whistle, but not much so to satisfy you.
Wet my whistle, huh?
Yeah.
I honestly...
Quench your thirst?
As Packers fans, we have so much to be optimistic about, right? This is why this offseason seems very special, because we have a new direction that we are going.
Which is what?
Which is up. We're going up in the right direction. You're looking at, you have a starting quarterback and a franchise quarterback. You have young receivers around you. See, with the Green Bay Packers, you have a lot of young receivers that are, forming around for our Packers. And then on top of that, you have a new direction for defense. We have something that we don't know, right? Everybody loves the unknown. The brand new.
What?
Listen.
Who loves the unknown?
That
is crazy.
You like hope.
The hope in the sense of, remember the new kid at school, everybody wanted to know, who's this new kid? Who is this person joining us? Everybody is optimistic and very hopeful that Coach Halfley can come in here and set up a nice, aggressive defense, though maybe next year we're playing in the Super Bowl.
I wish my classmates, when I transferred high schools, had that same thought process.
Oh, they said, who is this boy who think he can play basketball?
Yeah, but I played basketball in my freshman to sophomore year of summer with the varsity team, so I got to know a lot of the juniors and seniors, and I was a sophomore. And as a sophomore, freshmen and sophomores had to eat in the lunchroom. Guess who ate by himself the first 2 days of high school?
Oh, no.
Benny boy.
That's
when
so
you transferred?
Yeah.
Look at you now.
Yeah, thank you, Brad, for having a heart.
But, it's one of those things, I do feel like new kids and, it's more met with skepticism than it is with.
He was probably an annoying new kid. He probably came in and saying, "Hey, everybody, I'm Ben." He said, "Oh, he's even the basketball players that knew him said, ah."
Guys, I was the most innocent kid, believe it or not.
What the heck happened?
It's a crazy truth.
Greg in West Dallas, you don't agree that it's sad?
Not at all. You know what I'm excited about? March Madness. Bring on the Badgers if they can just get it together, play a little bit better defense, shoot the rock a little bit better. Then you have the Brewers, and then you just have the summer with everything else going on with sports, or you can get out and do sports. So it was good. The Super Bowl was great. Am I a huge fan of it? Not really, but, man, I'm ready for everything else. I've been a Badger fan for 30 years of my life.
You said Badgers, you said Brewers. What about the Packers offseason? You just didn't mention the Bucks making a championship run. You missed some teams, man.
Man, you know what? You guys might kill me, but I support the Celtics too and the Bucks.
You
can't do both, Greg. You cannot. Can you put on the poll? Are you allowed to support the Bucks and the Celtics? That doesn't make any sense at all.
Not right now.
Those are direct rivalries right now.
And here's the thing: that's a rivalry back in the day. If you know your history, back in the '80s, the Milwaukee Bucks couldn't get past the Boston Celtics.
Man, Bucks and a Celtics fan?
I don't understand that.
That's not okay.
You can't be. That's like being a fan of two NFC teams or two Big Ten teams. You can't be a fan of two Big Ten teams and think,
If we're being honest here, let me break this thing down real quick. All right. The Milwaukee Bucks, sure, I'm excited to see what happens, but I'm not exactly feeling the most optimistic that they're going to win the NBA championship this year. The Wisconsin Badgers, I think, are still good. They've lost 4 straight, 2 of them which have been bad, but they're still going to make the tournament, but I don't see them winning the national championship. Marquette, that's fine. They're up to 4, I believe, in the AP poll. That's great. Congratulations. We get to a Sweet 16 before I can actually talk about you in a national championship. The Brewers,
Shots fired.
The Brewers have the 4th best odds of 5 teams to win the NL Central.
Is it that low?
It is that low.
It was low last year too.
No, they were second or third win total. They're 4th. They are 4th. So my point being is when we look at the Bucks, the Brewers, the Badgers, and Marquette, Badger football, they're not going to win a national championship. When it comes to who actually, in my opinion, has a chance to win something, it is the Green Bay Packers. They proved that this year. Now, it's going to be really hard, but in terms of watching that Super Bowl game, the way I'm walking out of this is, holy cow. The Packers have an ascending quarterback with young assets at the wide receiver position, a good offensive line. I'll actually join Kyle's club. I'm excited about the change in defense.
Come on.
I'm not saying it's going to work, but they needed to change something because what I watched in the Super Bowl was 2 front fours. You had Chris Jones and the Kansas City Chiefs, who I thought they may not have sacked Purdy a ton, but they made him uncomfortable. They made him make quick throws. They blitzed at right moments. And then I'm watching Bosa, Hargrave, all those monsters on the 49ers get at Patrick Mahomes. But guess what? Mahomes is the greatest quarterback in the NFL. So what I'm looking for the Green Bay Packers to do, guys, is I want them to be dominant in one position group, whether it be the cornerbacks and the safeties, whether it be the linebacking position, or what I'd like to have most is a good front 4 in that 4-3. I want to be beastly somewhere because I'm bullish about the offense. I'm bullish that Matt LaFleur can do great things with an offense. We've seen it with Aaron Rodgers. We saw it in rookie year with Jordan Love. But in order to get to the Super Bowl, they need a better defense, a consistent defense, and some defense that is dominant at a position group. Because I feel like when I go back and think where they've been dominant, I'm like, here and there, right? We talk sometimes Kenny Clark, sometimes the edge rushers, sometimes the corners.
They have no game records on defense. Literally,
No, they don't.
your best player is Jair Alexander, and that's when he actually shows up to play. And not talking about show up to play just on the field, when he actually is completely locked in. But when you look at a Rashawn Gary, we just signed him a big money because he is a very good player, but he is not wreaking havoc on teams. The biggest knock on Kenny Clark, yes, he's a great football player, but Kenny Clark ain't doing what a Nick Bosa did yesterday or a Chris Jones did yesterday, where you can take over a game and change the game. Because if he could do that, the Packers would have been playing at least in the NFC Championship game because he would have made a difference to slow them down on the drive. The Packers are missing a game-changing piece on defense.
Well, and this reason is the exact reason why I'm of the belief that the Packers went exactly as far as they should have. They didn't overachieve because, they really rounded into form and were playing great football at the end of the year. But they shouldn't have advanced any further because there's too many holes in this roster. And it became much clearer last night watching the Super Bowl. Because when I look at those teams, whether it be the 49ers or the Chiefs, particularly the Chiefs, I look and I see elite everywhere. Elite head coaches, elite quarterbacks, for sure with the Chiefs, elite defenses, playmakers, special teams. There are very, very, very few holes, very few weaknesses in the 2 teams that played last night. That's why I look at the Packers. I say, you know what? They're a playoff team. They're a playoff team that won one game in the playoffs. That's exactly as far as they should have. And as I look forward going into the future, it's not the offense I'm worried about. Because when you have a QB1, when you have a quarterback like Jordan Love, man, you have all the hope in the world. And we should have all the hope in the world. But I look at the other areas of the ball, the ones that showed up last night for the 49ers and the Chiefs. We're talking defense and special teams. Defense and special teams dominated the first roughly 3 quarters of that game. That's where the Packers need to focus. And those are big items to tackle. You can't just look around the corner and find a dominant D tackle and D end and, lockdown kicker. So the Packers have their work cut out for them on defense and special teams before they are a legitimate Super Bowl contender. But on the offensive side, man, you got hope when you got your QB1. You will be in the mix year in and year out going forward.
Yeah, but I guess to counter to that, Brad, you're saying like defense and special teams. The defense had played pretty well for the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs. The special teams were boo-boo, but, I guess you could say the San Francisco 49ers still had every chance offensively to, they had the most possessions and the most, they created more opportunities. So, the Packers could have been in that game and competed just as well as the 49ers.
You talking about
we just
yesterday?
talked about We just talked about how there was no dudes on defense. They don't dominate a game. You need to be able to dominate a game on defense, and both of these defenses had those are both top 5 defenses.
I was talking special, having bad special teams for the Niners. They still were in the game.
Yeah,
the Packers had bad special teams. They were still in the game. My point stands. I still want more oomph in a position group on defense, but I'm saying, like, after watching that game, it's not like I was overly impressed with, like, KC's offense or San Francisco's offense. Who's to say Jordan Love, who played well at the last part of the season, couldn't have played well in that game?
But these are the best offenses in the league. Kansas City and
offenses.
Yeah.
Kansas City's offense?
Well, they have Patrick Mahomes.
Okay,
that makes it already a top 10 offense no matter
but
what.
you can say that they had the best player in the NFL, and I'll take that as an answer.
And the 49ers are well spread in their talent.
Yeah, I disagree here with you, Ben, on the fact that you think
because you're not a Packer.
No, because here's the thing. One thing I noticed yesterday is that the Packers were not a Super Bowl contender this year. They were not. They were not. When you watched those two football teams yesterday, Brad, you hit on it. They excelled. They were great defensively. They had a good enough offense. And those special teams was something that backfired and hurt the 49ers yesterday with the fluke bounce off the leg. And then a field goal, I think he missed the field goal extra point got blocked. Like, yes, those are things that happen, but he then went and hit a 53-yard field goal with less than 2 minutes left in the football game. I mean, the special teams still played a pretty big role, and that was the biggest issue the Packers had, is that the Niners had bad moments yesterday. The Packers had a bad season overall. That was the identity of our special teams, of being below average and bad, where that was not the identity for the 49ers for a season as a whole. The Green Bay Packer defense, yes, they stepped up in the playoffs for us at moments, but we knew at the end of the day when we needed them most in the biggest moments, they were not going to be able to. You were not going to be able to depend on them. That's exactly why after Anders Carlson missed that field goal, is it Anders or Anders, or who cares?
Anders. It's still who cares?
Okay, who cares? When who cares missed that field goal, every Packer fan was like, "Dang it, we're going to lose this football game because we don't believe in our defense to make a stop."
800-990-3776. Brad Nortman thinks the Packers went as far as they should have after watching last night's game. Do you agree or disagree with him? Let's get that up on Twitter at KBN ESPN. 800-990-3776. 800-990-ESPN. On YouTube at ESPN Madison, at ESPN Milwaukee. Do the Packers go as far as they should have this year? That's next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
And I said, it just came out. I said, are y'all going to talk the whole show like this? Good for you. For the next 25 minutes, all they said was they started ripping me. Oh, you going to clap like that the whole time? You going to laugh like that the whole time?
No.
You going to lay back like that the whole time? Why don't y'all go sit over in them open seats?
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 3 million members. They are the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you watch the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100x on your money. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players, sports, and stat types are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. No matter what sports you're into, basketball, hockey, soccer, tennis, Prize Picks has a game for you. And Prize Picks even offers injury insurance so that your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Download the app today and use the promo code WI for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code WI on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Hey, it's
It's Jason Wilding for Associated Bank. Here in Wisconsin, we love our sports year-round, right down to the Packers games in the Lambeau snow. If you want to show your love for the green and gold every day, you got it with Associated Bank's exclusive Packers checking account. A one-of-a-kind debit card, a 10% discount at the Packers Pro Shop, plus everything you'll score as an Associated Bank customer. Best of all, you'll get a banking partner based right here in the Midwest. Visit AssociatedBank.com/Packers to get started today. You've got this with Associated Bank. Member FDIC.
Life has its moments, times to remember and share. Make the most of those special occasions by visiting Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street. John Hayes from Goodman's Jewelers. We're here to help you make that perfect selection for your memorable moment. When you think of diamonds, you hear about color, cut, clarity, and carat weight. We can help you understand that. But we're equally concerned with earning your trust with the quality of our selection and our service. Goodman'sJewelers.com, in the heart of downtown Madison. Truly a destination worth reaching.
Get to the live events you love with the assist from Vivid Seats. Whether it's the upcoming baseball season, basketball, or hockey, experience it live with a 100% buyer guarantee. And with great deals on great seats, being there is all that matters. Plus, with Vivid Seats rewards you can earn with every ticket purchase, including surprise seat upgrades, birthday discounts, free tickets, and more. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Doing a lot of flip-flopping here on the Twitter poll at KBN ESPN. After last night's Super Bowl, Brad Nortman thinks the Packers went as far as they should this past season. Do you agree or disagree? Right now, 56% say agree. And as I say that, 52% say agree. 48 say disagree. It's going to be 50-50, I think. Because I think the lasting impression of Packer fans of this season is still the missed opportunity that was the San Francisco 49ers, right? The last game that the Green Bay Packers played this season, they outplayed a Super Bowl opponent. And you can make the argument that the Niners outplayed the Chiefs, but the Chiefs ended up doing what they needed to do to stay in the game, similar to how the Niners beat the Packers. So, again, the lasting impression in my mind is that the Packers competed with the team that could have won the Super Bowl. So, I tend to disagree, but I know you guys agree that this is as far as they should have gone.
I think, first of all, it is a compliment, right? To go to the divisional round of the playoffs, that is a high bar in the NFL. So it is an impressive that in a rebuilding young year, the Packers did that. However, it's those same things that you can dominate a game for 56 minutes and lose it in the final four is the exact reason why this team maxed out in the divisional round. Because you need dialed-in special teams. You need dialed-in defense. You need dialed-in situational football. And this team is too young, and they don't have enough players spread out throughout the whole team to be able to do that, to be able to close out a game. It's the reason why Kansas City is just so darn impressive, is because that experience, that situational football, all these things that when you have more dudes, when you have more experienced coaches, and when you've got guys that know situational football and have good special teams, you're able to put the whole thing together to play 60 minutes of football. This Packer team just isn't there yet. They will be. They're just not there in 2023.
800-990-3776. 800-990-ESPN. That's the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. On Twitter at KBN ESPN is where you can vote. Brad thinks they went as far as they should. I disagree.
So
how
far should they have gone then, in your opinion?
I mean, again, they very well could have been the 49ers. You know what I mean? Like to me, I know there are some positions in which the defenses, right, for both had more dominant positions, but there was no hotter offensive team in the playoffs than the Green Bay Packers, and I truly mean that. I mean, even looking at how the Chiefs struggled against the Niners, and there was more opportunities for the Packers against the Niners. Kyle, what say you?
Yeah, here's the thing. I agree that the Packers went as far as they could, but I will even go this far. The Packers overachieved this season. The fact that the Packers made it to the playoffs is already a miracle for me based off of the way the season went. But then when you add on the Packers beating the snot out of the Dallas Cowboys.
And that's good enough for you this year?
No, that is, for me, overall, big picture. Like, obviously, when we lost to the 49ers, my disappointment was at an all-time high because we had an opportunity right in front of us. And in the NFL, as Brad has talked about, he went to the Super Bowl in 2015, and I'm sure he thought this wouldn't be his last time going to the Super Bowl. He'll have potentially more opportunities. He went to the Jacksonville Jaguars, thought he may have an opportunity. These opportunities do not come by. As a Packers fan, I know, looking at Aaron Rodgers only appearing in one total Super Bowl. So you need to take advantage and maximize when you have the opportunity in front of you to win football games, to put you in advance to a level where you could go to an NFC championship and give you an opportunity to maybe advance to a Super Bowl. You have to take advantage of it. But at the end of the day, when I look at this season as a whole, you got the youngest team in the NFL. You have a 2-5 start also with this football team. You have your franchise left tackle who can't get healthy, does not play basically the entire season. You're starting running back in Aaron Jones, the most veteran person on that offense, being out for he missed about 5 games this season. And then on top of that, your top receiver coming back, Christian Watson, could not get his hamstring straight throughout the entire season. And you have an inconsistent defense and a bad special teams. All that is a formula for a bad football team. But the Packers found a way to win despite having to overcome all those different obstacles. And so for me, the Packers actually overachieved, which makes me excited about what next year is going to be. But this is definitely an overachievement.
Of course they overachieved. Nobody's saying they didn't overachieve. But you can look at how they were playing in the playoffs and say to yourself, like, hey, if we beat the Niners, which was in their grasp, they also beat the Lions last time they played.
They
so like
didn't
they
beat
are
the Niners because they weren't ready to beat the Niners. The Packers were not ready. They are not there. They didn't have the experience. Your starting quarterback, when he had an opportunity to drive you down
sound
for a
like
field goal.
you sound like the guy again who didn't believe that they could actually beat the Niners. Instead, like now you're going back to the guy who was not believing.
I think there was too many flaws, right? There were too many flaws in the roster, in the coaching staff.
I'm not saying there wasn't over the entire year, but we're acting as if they didn't stomp the Cowboys and outplay the Niners. There were a couple mistakes away from beating the Niners. There were a bad 4th and 1 spot from potentially being up 10-0 and it being a completely different ball game and playing the Detroit Lions. You guys are playing it was a good season. I'm going to accept it was a good season and really not give enough credit to how well they were playing outside a couple of mistakes.
It is incredible to see how far they went, but the same things that we knew were flaws all year are the things that ended up causing them the game. Defense when they needed to get a stop against Purdy and missing field goals. So inherently baked into the cake, there were these flaws that you knew at some point were going to get you. And they just got you at a really, really bad moment against the 49ers.
Carlito and Madison, 800-990-3776. Do the Packers go as far as they should?
Guys, how are you?
Fantastic.
Carlito, I like that name.
I really miss you guys. It's Carlito the Bear Badger. I'm from Chicago. I live here in Madison. I love the Badgers. I hate the Pack. I can't stand them.
But
there is a little bit of bile. I don't know what you say, like vomit coming up into my mouth. I'm going to tell you again, like I told you at the beginning of the season. God, I hate this. You got another one. Looks like you got another one. Damn it.
All right.
You had something with Favre. You knew you had something with Favre.
It takes a big man to admit that, Carlito.
Carlito's way. I like his way of going about things.
Carlito's way.
Hey, look. I know that I'm always busting your guys' business about, I hate the Pack and I love the Badgers and I love the Steelers and I love the Bears. And I'm always telling you guys, mean stuff like 3 Hall of Fame Packer quarterbacks don't equal 1 Terry Bradshaw. But to be honest with you guys, it looks like this division is the best division in the NFL. We got Detroit, you got Captain Kirk, you got Love killing it, and it looks like maybe we got something in Fields. I mean,
the best part you said there, Carlito, is maybe, because you don't know, and I love that. Thank you for the call. Maybe next year. Maybe. Trying to find a way to put the Bears in the same conversation as the Detroit Lions, who have the 3rd best odds to win the Super Bowl next year, and the Packers with the 5th best odds, tied with the Bengals.
I got to say, a fairly rational Bears fan didn't think that existed. But that guy had a level head on his shoulders. He could speak with truth, even though he get bodily responses.
It took
a lot. But that was a not delusional. That was a rational Bears fan. At least we know one exists.
Yeah, there's a couple out there, and he's just living in the reality, and the same reality I'm living in as well, is that my Packers, they overachieved, and they did all they could do this year. It does not take away from what the future holds for these Packers. And boy, oh boy, it is going to be a fun 10 years. What did Mr. Arm and Dangerous, what's the guy, Jordan Love's quarterback
Come on,
coach?
Man. Stevie Calhoun.
Friend of the show.
Stevie Calhoun, our friend of the show, what did he say?
He coached Jordan Love for 12 years and still is coaching him.
And he's still coaching him. He said this is going to be a great next 10 years for the Green Bay Packers, and I absolutely take that to heart, and I believe that. So this year we did all we could. We overachieved. But, fellas, 2024 is our year.
Well, Ryan, another Bears fan. Enough of you Bears fans chiming in. Ryan from the 303, keyword for 2024. Regression for the Green Bay Packers. That's just hate coming in. That's just nerves. That's just unknown. That's the unknown that you don't like. The unknown that you don't know what your team's forecast is. Look, there is a possibility for regression. There always is, especially coming off a big of a year that the Green Bay Packers had. 7.5 win total. They made the playoffs. First 7 seed to win a playoff game. Everyone's telling you you're good. And when everyone's telling you you're good, it's really easy to get caught up with those egos.
They really shouldn't regress. It's the rookie year, or your first year as a starter like Love, but it's your rookie year where you really get that knockout punch to the face of like, oh, wow, the NFL is fast and it's physical and the playbook is massive and it's a long season. If you can get through that with success, there's really no reason you should take a regressive backward step.
And the reason why I don't think this team takes a backward step and they don't regress is because they're going to be more hungry, because they watched that Super Bowl game yesterday and they said, you know what? We beat the Chiefs and we outplayed the 49ers. So in their heads as competitors, they believe that they were good enough to be in that game yesterday. But then when you look at the overall season, everybody, almost all the young players on this team, from Jordan Love to Jaden Reed to Dontavian Wicks to Zach Tom to everybody, literally all the young players took a step forward in the right direction. And I know they're going to be eager and they're going to be hungry to continue to take that next step because Super Bowl is on their mind.
Here's the one thing, though. They will no longer be the team that can sneak up on anybody else. And look, you address every week with intensity, with preparation. But let's be honest, it's just human nature. If you're playing the Chiefs one week, you're a little bit more dialed in than if you're going to play fill in the blank, Arizona Cardinals, whoever was bad this year, right? The teams approach the Packers this way without fear most of the time because no more Aaron Rodgers. I think they're going to have a healthy amount of respect for the Packers next year. That's going to be a challenge for this team.
800-990-3776. Tony in the 262. Very rarely hear this. Ben, you're right. Despite the flaws of the Packers, with the way the Chiefs played last night, the Packers would have a real shot at winning last night's game. The Packers are close, and so is the poll. The poll is close. Brad thinks that the Packers went as far as they should this past season. We have now flipped 50.5% disagree. Woo. Agree 49.5%. So I know you guys just want to protect a little bit of, hey, it was a great season. We overachieved. It was there, and I still believe that the way they played against the Niners showed me that they very well could have done well against the Lions. Both teams ascending at the right time. Not saying they should have won, but even that is saying, like, the way the question is phrased, should have went as far as it should have. I mean, I still think they were very good enough to win to go to the NFC Championship game based off how they played against the Niners. 800-990-3776. Do you believe the Packers went as far as they should, like Brad does? I still have a hard time convincing myself with how well they were playing at the right time. A couple special teams blunders cost them, obviously, but that's not always the whole story. Don't just blame Anders Carlson.
Don't say
I
that
can
to
actually
me.
say his name right.
Don't you dare say that. Don't you dare say that, because if he not missed that field goal, the Packers would have been in the NFC Championship.
And then you'd be saying exactly what I'm saying right now. 800-990-3776. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman will be back.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
No, some of those things I say act like I think I'm something that I'm not.
I mean, you can say finna. Say, listen, I'm finna do this show here from 5 to 6.
I'm finna do the show.
The Homer Hour finna be lit from 5 to 6.
No, I'll never say that again.
It rolls, though, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. It's not me.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Hey, Wayne, shopping for a new door? Do you need something more dependable?
Yes, something that's durable,
dent resistant, knows how to take a hit, and is going to last for years.
We're still talking about the door, right?
Oh, yeah, right. Of course.
Wayne Larrabee and Jeff Levering shopping together at Pella? What next? How about 0% interest for up to 60 months when you place your order by February 23rd at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 2/23/2024.
You can drive cutting-edge design. 2024 Audis are on the lot and ready for delivery. You could save $7,500 on select Audi EVs with the AFS EV lease bonus. See dealer for details and exclusions. Eligibility is subject to credit approval through Audi Financial Services. Cannot be combined with National Customer Credit. Offer expires February 24th, 2024. Stop in and test drive today. Check out our website to see our current electric vehicle inventory and our monthly specials. The search for your Audi begins and ends at Zimbrick Audi of Madison, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road. Drive yours today.
Do you love winning? This February, head to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee and fall head over heels with the Love It or Leave It $400,000 game show. Thursday nights, you could play the Love It or Leave It game show where you can love your prize or leave it for another. Play with your club card to earn drawing entries. Top prize is $10,000 in cash. It's time for Love It or Leave It. Only at Potawatomi. Learn more at PaceBig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company is a Madison original, brewing award-winning craft beers for nearly 30 years. Whether you're a fan of Pilsners, IPAs, stouts, or sours, the Danes team of brewers always have something new on tap. Or if you're in the mood for a classic, enjoy the German Pilsner or Crop Circle Wheat. For a full tap list, head to one of their locations in Fitchburg, Hilldale, downtown, or East Madison, or visit GreatDanePub.com. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Every Thursday this football season, huddle up for the Great Dane Huddle, live from the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company.
Barry pulls me over. He goes,
Get your ass in there, take that cigar, throw it out. You ain't like these guys. I don't know what these guys are.
So I went from like smiling to like dead serious again.
The Great Dane Huddle with Alex Strofe, Tarek Salam, and Derek Engler. Thursdays at 6 on 100.5 ESPN.
We tend not to think about right now, but right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. When you give to the V Foundation, 100% of your donation goes directly to game-changing cancer research. Victory over cancer is there for the taking. By you. Donate at V.org, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Cozy up your home with fresh cabinets from SprayNet of Southern Wisconsin. SprayNet knows that the kitchen is the heart of your home. Let them help you fall in love with it again. Quicker and more affordable than replacing your cabinets, SprayNet can have your kitchen cabinets looking like the day you first saw them. Their exclusive painting technology and technique will have your kitchen transformed in less than a week. Schedule an appointment today with Dale, the owner of SprayNet of Southern Wisconsin. Go to spraynet.com.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I'm sad for many reasons. Football's over. I'm not feeling optimistic about the Milwaukee Bucks championship run.
Pat Bev, baby, what you mean? You saw the intensity. You saw him come in and hit them threes. You saw him drawing up plays.
You're so annoying. You're the Pat Bev of radio.
The crowd went wild, boy.
I kind of like seeing it.
He
too, I'm
went.
not
The
gonna lie.
Hornets are 10-41.
Hey, you was juiced up, weren't you?
I was.
You was
I was
juiced
like,
up.
let's do this, baby.
Yeah, I told you, Pat Bev, getting that defensive stance.
You can see Kyle getting a horrible defensive stance
I ain't wanna
on
rip my
YouTube.
pants now.
Yeah, I was worried about him on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. We're Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Brad thinks the Packers went as far as they should. It's 50-50 on the poll at KBN ESPN. You can chime in 800-990-3776. But now, Kyle's got a cape on. I'm going to take him to school in the KBN Academy.
In radio, our goal's pretty simple.
Just so you know, you really suck.
Have an A show or an F show.
Hey, I'll decide who sucks around here.
The same goes for topics in this next segment. This is the KBN Academy.
Those that can't do, teach.
It is the KBN Academy where I, Ben Brust, with a bachelor's degree, feels like a master's degree with my brain capacity. Brad Nortman, Kyle Wallace, they both have master's degrees for real. Congratulations. We're your professors. We're going to answer some questions and give some A's and F's. There's no B's, C's, or D's or anywhere in between. Chris Larson's running it. Take it away.
Let's start off with KBN Academy Super Bowl edition. The 49ers players admitted to not knowing the overtime rules after the Super Bowl loss to the Chiefs last night. They thought the first touchdown actually wins the game, and that wasn't the case. A or F, you knew the rules of overtime last night.
Big time F. Big time F. And to be honest, like, even when I looked at the rules on Twitter and they showed the rules on the screen, I felt as if I was still learning the rules while watching the game. But regardless of me or anyone else learning the rules, it is ridiculous to be in that game and to not have every scenario in your playbook, in your team meetings played out. It is your job in the practice. You have 2 weeks of leading up to the Super Bowl. What do? Brad, I know I did in football. You have to work on situations.
Oh, yeah. All the time. All the time. I mean, this was an F for me knowing it. I did not know it at all. But there is no excuse for the 49ers not knowing exactly what the rules are, what the plan would be going into it. And they even said that in their press conference after the game, that they didn't know the rules. Even when the referee said, okay, this is what it's going to be like, heads or tails. Each team's going to get the ball no matter if someone scores a touchdown. I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. When did they change this?
Oh, wow.
But it also came out that the Chiefs did have a meeting about this exact thing earlier in the week. So situational football, man, it means a lot. That's a veteran coach and Andy Reid with a veteran team knowing what they need to do.
It was an A for me. You know why?
You knew the rules?
Because I listened to the broadcast and I read the screen, so I knew the rules by the time it was time to know. So I wasn't confused by anything. I said, oh, this is unique. This is creative. I can't wait.
Don't act like you had all the strategy figured out.
I knew when I heard Fred Warner say we want the ball. I said, wait. I literally in my head
I did a double take on that one too.
I said, oh, I wonder if they didn't go through the fact that they wanted to not get the ball. I was very
Is Jair Alexander in the coin toss?
I honestly thought that he made a mistake. And in the start of the game, it sounds like the referee already knew what the Chiefs would do if they won the toss. And I was very confused when he said we want the ball. I said, this doesn't make sense to me whatsoever, regardless of what the overtime rules are. I know the first one is the first one to score a touchdown, woo. But, I mean, they need to be paying better attention. But I read the screen, so maybe the 49ers should have somebody watching and kind of buzz down at them.
Or know the damn rules before you get to the Super Bowl overtime.
It's not a fireball offense, but he's going to have to wear that one. Kyle Shanahan has fumbled and choked in every opportunity.
He called a horrible game, in my opinion.
And it's not like Shanahan could have been like, I never would have thought a Super Bowl could go into the overtime. His Super Bowl with the Falcons went into overtime, so he lived it out.
All right, moving on here. After the Chiefs running back Isaiah Pacheco lost a fumble in last night's Super Bowl, Travis Kelce bumped head coach Andy Reid and screamed in his face on the sideline before being led away by a teammate. Reid said afterward he appreciated the veteran tight end's passion, while Kelce said his emotions got the better of him. A or F, it's a bad look for Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
A? I mean, like, someone argue F. Someone argument that this is a good look. Like,
I mean, time out. Wait a minute. I don't want to pull the veil. About a half hour ago, somebody was definitely arguing that this wasn't a bad look. I mean, somebody in here.
Who? What did I say?
Somebody in here was arguing before. Oh, you're not a competitor. Yes, you didn't play high-level sports, so you don't understand what competition is and what being.
Did you know there's a difference between me trolling you in a pre-show meeting and actually having my real opinion?
I believe them. Did you not believe him, Brad?
Yeah, you're pretty gullible.
Yeah,
That's because you are. They're both gullible.
I think everybody believed you because we can see you doing something that crazy.
It's a bad look to about 95% of people, right? Like the casual fan, the Taylor Swift fan who's just tuning in to see Travis Kelce. That's a bad look, about 95%. There's about 5% of people that were like, go get him, TK. Do whatever you want to do.
Crazy.
Love that passion.
Crazy.
So,
meatheads.
Yeah,
yes.
meatheads. I'm not in that meathead department.
To me, it's a bad look.
Not at all. It was a very bad look. I mean, I understand it, and
I wish he would have
fell.
fell.
But he crawled. He dang near did. Andy Reid, like 68 years old.
I mean, big guy tumbling, kind of funny.
No, it's not. It's
as long
not
as he doesn't
funny.
get hurt.
He is elderly. He is an old man. You just running up on an old man like that? Come on now.
Elderly abuse.
That's
why I said.
That does qualify.
Explain to me why it would be an F here. Why it would be a good look.
It's a terrible look. I don't know. You told me it was a good look earlier, so you threw me off here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't see an issue with it whatsoever.
I mean, that's the reason. There's a reason why Kyle went D3. He never had emotions where he actually wanted to get up in a coach. They just did whatever they wanted to him.
You tell that story. That makes me feel better about myself. It was my emotions and not my lack of athletic ability.
It was all the above. Chris?
We wrap up KBN Academy here with today being Super Sick Monday. According to a study from UKG Workforce Institute, an estimated 16.1 million U.S. employees plan to skip work today. 6 million of these workers will risk a workplace penalty for faking sick or ghosting work altogether following the Super Bowl. ARF, you know someone who's doing that today.
I don't know the full story specifically, but I do know that Josh DiMaggio, producer of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, had to fill in for Jesse Nelson from 9 to noon. I don't know what's going on in Jesse Nelson's life. All I know is that he hosted a Super Bowl party. And when I heard Jesse Nelson hosting a Super Bowl party and Joshy got the late, I need you to cover, almost put him in the spot where he couldn't say no, I knew we had an A here at ESPN Wisconsin.
I wonder if he's in that roughly 40% that is risking a workplace ramification from that.
I'm starting to get the hall monitor the way he goes about things. I got an email yesterday from Jesse that was highlighting a lot of his teammates. You know what it was? He was just trying to soften everybody up to say, I'm working on the weekend. I'm throwing support to my people. And bow, I ain't coming to work tomorrow. That's what it was. It was trying to soften the blow of him having a Super 6 Monday. That's all it was. He was setting people up. Shout out to Jesse Nelson being so strategic. I need to take some notes.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he knew what he was doing going into it. He knew I'm gonna live it up. Super Bowl Sunday.
Hey guys,
Monday.
I have before my Super Bowl party. I'm gonna send this email to praise everybody. Man, everybody feel real good. So when I don't show up on Monday, they know I was really sick.
You guys,
that's an F for me. I don't know anyone.
It just became an A
until this moment. So yeah, I think it switched really quickly.
Wait, which one was it? Is it A or F? I know somebody. I guess
A is if you know somebody.
I guess I know somebody in Jesse Nelson. A. I don't know anybody else because everybody else I know is a hard worker. Not saying he's not. Just saying he ain't there today.
That's it for the KBN Academy. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin, and we have great partners. And there is none other than the one, the only, the Gina Della from Pella.
That's right, Gina Della from Pella and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. They're always looking out for you. They're always trying to make sure that you have the highest quality windows and doors. And that's why they are offering this incredible deal right now. That is 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's right, 0% interest up to 60 months. Imagine having beautiful, and I mean beautiful, Pella windows and doors installed. It totally changed the vibes of the room. I mean, my parents did it not long ago. The room completely changed when you add in new Pella windows and doors. Not only are they beautiful, they're durable. They're going to keep your energy bill down. And imagine having not to have to make a payment for 5 years. That's unbelievable. This deal is not available anywhere else. And hurry, though, that the 0% interest for up to 5 years only lasts until February 23rd. So it's already counting down. That's why you can't hesitate to call and check out Pella's expert team that installs year-round and figuring out how to do your order today at PellaWI.com.
800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. You hear from KBN Nation. Do they go as far as they should, those Green Bay Packers? Brad says yes. I disagree.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Listen, Diana, that's her name. Listen, we all about positive manifestation. I like you, Diana. All it is
Dirty
negative.
Diana.
Criticize.
Dirty Diana.
I love you, Kyle.
Love you too, girl.
I love you, Kyle.
I love you too. That's what I'm talking about. The real Packer Nation.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. Wisconsin head football coach Luke Fickell was on Wilde and Tausch on ESPN Wisconsin last week and touched on the current state of college athletics with the evolution of name, image, likeness, and the transfer portal.
I don't ever say the game is changing. I say it's evolving, right? Because really, when it comes down to it, the ball goes down. Those five guys or three guys that they're across from, that doesn't change, right? And that's where the game is still the beauty of what it is.
Find the full conversation with Luke Fickell on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Wilde and Tausch.
Get 0% interest for up to 3 years, or get no money down, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Jesse Nelson here for Hansen & Sons, Madison's #1 family-owned chimney and fireplace specialist. To celebrate 71 years of service, Hansen & Sons is offering 7.1% savings on any of their new high-efficiency installed fireplaces or their expert winter masonry chimney repairs. Replace that old, dirty, wood-burning fireplace with a new high-efficiency, remote-controlled gas or electric fireplace. Sale ends February 29th. Go to HansenandSons.com for more information. That's HansenandSons.com.
What does it take to make a diamond? Extreme heat and pressure and about 1 billion years. But you can't wait that long. What do? You go to Goodman's Jewelers. I'm John Hayes from Goodman's Jewelers. There's a reason we are the Diamond Store of Madison. Since 1933, we provided outstanding service and selection to our customers, and that in turn has helped to establish countless great memories through the years. GoodmansJewelers.com, located at 220 State Street, truly a destination worth reaching.
They say love is a universal language. Well, that's definitely true if you're talking about bacon. I mean, who doesn't love bacon? Forget the chocolates. Give the gift of bacon. It's everyone's love language. And you're going to love it that our bacon's on sale right now. With quick hot savings, we're taking bacon down to $2.49 a 12-ounce pack. Limit 2. Savings on bacon? Whoa, that's 2 love languages at once. And we're multilingual like that. Quick Trip. We're saving your bacon.
988 Wisconsin Lifeline. How can I help you?
Share hope, find purpose when you become a 988 Wisconsin Lifeline counselor. The 988 Wisconsin Lifeline provides free and confidential support to anyone experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis. Staffed by Family Services, 988 has experienced tremendous growth, and more statewide counselors are needed to answer calls, texts, and chats to the Lifeline. If you want to share hope and find purpose in your next job, apply now. You can work remotely from anywhere in Wisconsin. Training is provided and flexible hours are available. 988 Wisconsin Lifeline counselors enjoy competitive compensation and benefits packages. Most importantly, you can share hope and find purpose when you become a 988 Wisconsin Lifeline counselor. Apply today at 988lifelinecounselor.org. Family Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Paid for by grants from SAMHSA and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
They say love is a universal language. Well, that's definitely true if you're talking about bacon. I mean, who doesn't love bacon? Forget the chocolates. Give the gift of bacon. It's everyone's love language. And you're going to love it that our bacon's on sale right now. With quick hot savings, we're taking bacon down to $2.49 a 12-ounce pack. Limit 2. Savings on bacon? Whoa, that's 2 love languages at once. And we're multilingual like that. Quick Trip. We're saving your bacon.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, now everybody looking the same. Tell me how you want it. Shorty bust it down. Give us the money, keep the crown. Tell me how you want it.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. You can get us on YouTube at ESPN Madison, at ESPN Milwaukee, or text us, call us 800-990-3776. Right now on Twitter at KBN ESPN. After last night's Super Bowl, Brad Nortman thinks the Packers went as far as they should this past season. Do you agree or disagree? I still go hard disagree because based off this question, I still believe that they should have beat the Niners despite the special teams hiccups. Bad spot on 4th and 1 will live in my head forever. Bad spot in the first quarter that they could have went up 10-0 and changed the landscape of that entire game. And I still am not one of those who's like, put a chip in the ball, this, that, and the other thing. Like, I don't know the perfect science to it all. It just didn't go their way, and that's the way the football, that's the way the cookie crumbles and all that crap. But, like, man, way to stumble through that one, Benny. Tim and Tosa, save me, 800-990-3776. What up, Tim?
Gentlemen, great show as always. Love listening to you guys' perspectives. So I wanted to pick the brain trust that you guys there. So looking back, just curiosity. Looking back last year, Quay Walker gets ejected for putting his hands on, I think, a personal trainer of another
coach
team.
And a
right?
trainer. There was like
So
2 incidents.
They grabbed
and there's
him.
been a couple different things from players that they'll just get a little scraps. The guy will reach across, punch a guy in the nose, and he's ejected. Right now, what I saw is, and granted, I wanted the 49ers to win, so maybe I'm being a little bit of a baby here. But when Kelsey runs into his own guy like forcefully and it wasn't just a soft bump. I mean, he knocked Andy Reid, which takes a lot of power
Assault!
to move him. So what's the rules there? Like
There are
it's
none.
The same team.
Yeah, there's no
Right,
rules
well, that's what I'm
against
saying. So how
assaulting
do
your
you-
own teammate.
Yeah, I mean, it's on Andy Reid and the Chiefs
ask
to
you a question.
discipline. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question though. But if let's just say there's a legitimate fight between two teammates, like I'm talking like haymakers are thrown legitimate on the side, they hate each other, whatever reason. They get off scot free? There's no penalty.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, oh well, you're on the same team, so the officials aren't going to step in. I mean, I know that's the answer, but it seems like, well, if you want to enforce a rule because it's another team, because you want to give the other team an advantage, but on your own guy, you're like, if there's some serious altercation, you go, nah, our bad. You guys just keep playing, get along.
You just
suspect.
yes, that's internal,
And
right? You police
thank you,
yourself.
Tim.
That's what it comes down. Tim is hurt. Listen,
Yeah, I don't know if Tim went to Pottle Sportsbook
Tim is hurt.
and had a chunk of change on the Niners. He's looking for any reason, and I mean any reason, that Travis Kelce should have been sat down after
He said
ran
that's a 15-yard penalty
on his own team.
That is a 15-yard penalty. Eject him from the game. Did you all see what he just did to that elderly gentleman?
I mean, it was a little bit of a bump too. I mean, I'm surprised that Andy Reid didn't topple down there. But with your own team,
Yeah, I guess, Brad, have you seen an internal fight during a game? I've seen fights in practice.
Yeah, fights in practice for sure. And both those guys are getting ejected from practice if it happens. But in a game,
Did Steve Smith and Josh Norman fight while you were there or no?
Yeah,
okay.
they did in practice.
Yeah, so
it very rarely happens to the point of physicality on your own sideline. Like dudes get in each other's faces for sure, but that's never anything that's
A
enforceable.
rookie was opening his mouth to Patrick Mahomes yesterday.
Never wise.
I think Tim is grasping at straws there, and for all the things that happened in yesterday's Super Bowl, that's the least from my mind of two teammates. What's going to happen to the two teammates?
Look, I
fighting
know
each
a
other?
man in desperation who needed an outcome specifically for a team. And anything that the other team does is like, oh, it's the worst. That was a foul. That was a hold. I get it, Tim. I get it. I lost with the 49ers, too. 800-990.
You put money on the 49ers yesterday?
I did, yes.
I did not tell you. I tried to tell you to put money.
But
you called
as if
me
like
racist for saying Pat Mahomes, but damn it, I was right. I wasn't racist. I was right.
That's a strong accusation there.
Go to ESPN Milwaukee and our Instagram page, and you called me racist.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
You sure did. I was trying to help you out. The baby needs to eat. The baby need Pampers. You taking money out the baby pockets.
I know.
I tried to help you.
I did say I was watching our parlays pretty hard, particularly my leg of it, and
You lost bad, too.
He fell about 6 yards short.
For Ben's
Pacheco.
same-game parlay, it couldn't have gone any worse as a debut.
Wait, who do we bet on again?
All of them were under. Pacheco, you wanted Rice, and I wanted Kittle.
What did Rice have?
Rice had like 20 yards.
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Kittle had 4 yards. Pacheco wasn't even the leading rusher for the Chiefs. Mahomes was.
Kittle was so terrible.
And my initial one was, for sure, under on 7.5
Half
punts.
punts.
They went way over.
It was a punt fest.
It's a bad start.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad it's your money, not mine.
Follow at your own risk, but we're going to hit the next one. I'm going to be saying that every time.
Yeah. Optimism. Hope. Let's check the Green Bay Packers.
800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-ESPN. Quickly, Kyle, you, I heard, are the worst party goer in the history of Super Bowl party goers.
Yeah, man. You know, I think I'm decent because I mind my own business. That's what it's all about. I went to a Super Bowl party yesterday. I came in late. The game started at 5:30. I got there at 6 because that's what time I'm comfortable
I don't
getting
care about when you got there. You didn't put your hand in chips.
I didn't put my hand. No, I didn't put my hand in chips. I poured the chips out like a sensible person. I only ate one, and that was the one that my girl bought. The other chip, I wasn't touching it. I wasn't eating
So
it.
you only ate the chips that your girlfriend brought
because those were the safest ones that I
Did
knew
you eat
nobody
any
touched.
of the dips that
The
others
dip
brought?
The dip had a fork in it, though. So
You're acting as if nobody did a random dip.
No,
You have a very deep mistrust for people, don't you?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? People do not wash their hands. We're working with somebody who does not wash his hands.
That's not true.
He started washing his hand all of 14 days ago.
That's true.
Because he just had a child. So
Wait a
imagine
minute.
being, wait a minute.
That is pretty gross.
He zips, shakes, and walks out. He wipes and walks out. He doesn't wash his hands.
No, number
and
two, I
he
do.
contaminates all the food. I would have been, Ben was at a party 3 weeks ago with me. I would have been contaminated with bin germs on the chips that I would have ate.
Ben germs.
I
germs.
actually do follow that logic right there. Then
You
That's too
guys-
risky. That should be
It
the
is
thing.
entirely too
Okay.
risky.
Men should
I know
really
it-
wash their hands after going number one. That should
Forget
be
the washing the hand thing.
100%.
You wouldn't grab a chip out of somebody else's bag that somebody else grabbed chips out of?
No.
No,
What are we doing?
would,
Y'all saw,
but-
you got to pour it. I told you last week
Chris,
when
would you
Asher
grab a
brought
chip?
food-
I would not grab a chip.
Of
for
course you
somebody
wouldn't.
else that,
Of course you wouldn't.
Yeah.
What's wrong
My
with you?
guy. It's germs are real. People are disgusting, man. They are absolutely disgusting.
You're touching a button that Mark Shimura touches.
Is he sticking his fingers in his mouth right now? No.
Yeah, I'm not.
but he's scratching his,
He's not
in the
touching any
middle.
orifice of his body where germs are going to infiltrate.
Then he's eating. You are eating food in the break. Like you're acting as if something you touch doesn't have germs that you then touch that doesn't have you are touching and being around things that
actively
germs.
being a disgusting human being by saying you don't wash it? Why are you defending this? Why are you defending us being healthy? Didn't Pfizer
It's
teach
not-
anything yesterday with the commercial?
Is it more because it's strangers at the party?
No,
or
they didn't.
Is it because it's strangers at the party? You don't
If it
know
was my
them, or
family
you
at the
tight
party, I still
people?
wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, family. With family, I remember growing up as a kid and my dad eating Cheeto Puffs. And I remember he'd fall asleep on the couch, and he used to put his hand in the Cheeto. He's a smoker too. Put his hand in the Cheeto Puffs and then just fall asleep with the stuff everywhere. I don't eat Cheeto Puffs to this day because I was scarred by my father just eating Cheeto Puffs with his smoky hand and putting it in the bag. So no, I don't really share with family neither.
Do you have to take a shower before you make love?
I'm a nasty dude. Now that's different. You get a little bit too much.
Hey. So now germs don't matter. 800-990-ESPN.
When the moment hit, baby.
We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Need more comfort in your life? Craving a craft meal in a warm and welcoming atmosphere? Well, enjoy the comforts of the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company. From classics like the chicken pot pie or the pub burger to countless handcrafted beers, the Great Dane Pub has everything you need. With 4 convenient Madison area locations, downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison, there's a Great Dane to satisfy your comfort cravings near you. Visit GreatDanePub.com for more information. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Hey, this is Craig Carmans, and join Kyle Wallace and me every Sunday morning for Sunday Karma on a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. My name is Riley Yauk, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Mr. Irrelevant. Join Alex Strofe, Hunter Vaughn, and a featured special guest every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30, streaming exclusively on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. And subscribe to the Mr. Irrelevant podcast on Wisconsin On Demand. Unfortunately, after the Super Bowl last night, football season is officially over. But hey, it's never too early to start looking forward to next season, as NFL Nation has released their way too early power rankings and slaps the Packers in at number 10. Not too shabby. Go check out the rest of the rankings and Rob Domofsky's write-up on the Packers over at ESPN.com. But even though we'll be without football for the next few months, we do still have basketball. The newest AP poll was released at noon. for college basketball, and it saw the Badgers tumble all the way down from 11th to 20th. Honestly, that could be generous. They'll have an opportunity to get up off the canvas tomorrow against Ohio State at 8 p.m. But before that, the Bucks host the Nuggets tonight at 7. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 right here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. Giannis and Dame are probable. Chris Middleton is ruled out. Time for some more KBN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studios in Madison, this is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. With me and Brad probably more sad than Kyle that football's over. Kyle's ready for the offseason.
Yeah, I'm ready, baby.
800-990-ESPN. Streaming on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison. We are Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. I'm Ben Brust. Brad Nortman, Super Bowl 50 loser and all the feels. And Kyle Wallace just looking to the future. And you know what? The floor is yours, Mr. Wallace, because you have a proclamation.
Well, first I want to say this. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs, to Patrick Mahomes, to Travis Swift, to elderly abuse Andy Reid on winning another Super Bowl. Congratulations, fellas. Bravo. But as in the great words of my boy Deion Sanders, we coming. And when I say we coming, you got to go to YouTube. I got myself a nice little gift here.
You put it on backwards.
Okay, don't worry about me. Thank you.
I have to worry about you.
It's draft day, baby. You know why? I just put a brand new Jordan Love jersey on to let
$20 replica.
No, it ain't 20. This is expensive. I didn't buy this. This is expensive. It's a gift.
Looks sharp.
This is NFL quality. It's the shield. This is officially the proclamation that the Green Bay Packers season is officially started now with the offseason and the Packers getting ready to make a Super Bowl run. I am so excited for what the future holds for this Green Bay Packers team, and I couldn't be more happy to know that the NFL season is over and we can now turn the page to 2024, 2025 because my Packers
Were you trying to make a turn the page sound effect?
Did it work?
Kind of.
I mean,
that's exactly. But no, this is what this means now for all Packers fans. The excitement should start now because this is our opportunity. Last year, we did not know what we were walking into. We didn't know if Aaron Rodgers would be back. Literally, the dude went in the darkness, and we did not hear from him. He was talking about ayahuasca and not talking about his teammates. We didn't know what was going to happen. He ghosted our general manager. We didn't know what to expect going into this 2023 football season, but now we know what to expect. We know where our team is, and if you watched the Super Bowl yesterday, you probably felt like I did. Listen, we may not be a Super Bowl contender for this season, but I am ready for next season because my quarterback, Jordan Love, if he would have played yesterday, he was just as good as Pat Mahomes against the 49ers, and he was just as good or even better than Brock Purdy was against the Chiefs. So everybody should be excited that this jersey I got on right now, which looks really, really good, number 10, this man is leading us, and I'm telling you this right now. Our Super Bowl window is open, and it's time for us to get ready for a beautiful, beautiful season. The odds is what, 16-1?
16-1.
Go to Pato.
I mean,
you go to Pato?
Go to Pato. I got 100 on it.
Okay.
Lying ass.
I got 100 on it. I gotta wait for the 30th, the end of the month, see what my check look like. But I feel so good about this organization and the direction that we're going. So that's why I am so excited for the football season to be over. So now I get to track and watch everything my team does to build themselves up to be in the position to be playing in mid-February next year, and me watching the Super Bowl and me crying because my team may bring home the Lombardi Trophy, but I'm excited.
Whoa, how do you give that whole speech and then do a May bring it home?
I can't predict the Super Bowl championship, but I can
This was
predict
supposed to be a big proclamation, and then you hedge at the end.
We are coming. I'm saying we coming. We're going to be playing in the Super Bowl next year.
Do you need to wait and see what the team does throughout the offseason before you make that declaration?
Listen, Goody already said all I needed him to say. He said he's going to look at free agent signings. Goody was excited about re-signing Jordan Love. This place is a destination. People want to play with Jordan Love. We just talked about it during the break. Jordan Love went from literally you didn't even know what he sounded like to he's all over the internet. We got his coach, Steve Calhoun, his quarterback's coach, with us talking to us because Jordan is that good. He's doing podcasts with Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons is one of the best defensive players in the NFL. And what did he say? He said, I want the guy that torched my team and ended my season to join. That is respect. That is love. Jordan Love has arrived. He's the real
Micah
deal,
Parsons
and the Packers
also
will be
said
great.
that T.J. Watt is in the top 5 defensive rusher in the NFL. So I think just because you join a podcast doesn't mean like that
No, but it
matters.
just shows where he's ascended to. He wasn't at the Super Bowl last year. He wasn't doing no commercials last year on national stage. Jordan Love has arrived because everybody sees the talent, and Packer fans should be excited because now is the time. Our team is coming, baby.
608, David chimes in. Ben is a dork, Brad is voice of reason, and Kyle should be in a bubble. He is odd and weird. I could not agree more with all of that.
Dang. In a bubble?
And no, I like the odd and weird part of that.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you're that. I hate to say it. That was a fraudulent proclamation.
No, it was not. This team is coming. We are here,
coming
baby.
and saying, "Hey, are there 16-1? I'm going to Potawatomi Sportsbook to put a wager on that," and then saying, "Maybe I'll cry tears of joy if like they win the Super." Like, no, you're either saying this is the year now,
the
like
Super Bowl championship without seeing everything, but I believe we're going to make a Super Bowl run. This is going to be a fascinating and exciting season where we have expectations that our team can meet.
So that is the thing. This is going to be a year in which you had no expectations. You were a 7.5 win total heading into next year. That was your over-under. You did a lot of great things, but now you have the target. You were before the season, this Packer team was 4th in the odds to win the NFC North. Then towards the beginning of the season, I know they were last, but then it switched. I think they were slightly above the Bears as they got closer to the season. They are going to be neck and neck with the Lions in terms of winning the NFC North. So with that, I love that. I love to see that expectation shift, but what comes with that is more pressure. What comes with that is being the hunted. When you're the hunting, like the Cowboys, like the Chiefs, like the Niners, like Detroit, and all those games that you're the hunting and you're the underdog, what does this team look like as the favorite? What does this team look like in a new scheme change, new piece? Like there's a lot to be figured out before I'm ready to have this proclamation.
Chicago tried to knock us off, and what happened?
I'm not worried about Chicago. Why are you using that one?
You're talking about like the contenders of the NFC.
He's talking about the Super Bowl and then brings up Chicago.
I'm just saying.
You're all over the place. Chef Ed in Milwaukee, 800-990 ESPN. Welcome into Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
How you doing, guys? Yeah, I'm not usually a hedger, but I'm kind of hedging about the question about did the Packers go as far as you think they should have? I mean, at the beginning of the season, yes, they went as far as they should, but like I agree with you, Ben, they were hot. They were one of the hottest teams in the NFL at that time, and they had San Francisco. They had them. They had that game. So I'm kind of like, going back and forth in my mind about did they go far enough? I think they maybe could have got to the NFC Championship game and maybe could have beat Detroit. And Kyle, the one difference about saying like Jordan was as good as Patrick, you got to remember the guy, Patrick Mahomes, one thing that Jordan Love doesn't do as well as Patrick Mahomes is his legs. I mean, Jordan Love needs to run more. In today's NFL, you got your slashers, you got your running quarterbacks. I mean, who's the leading rusher for the Chiefs yesterday? It was Patrick
Mahomes.
with 66 yards.
Listen. That comes with time. That comes with experience. Our boy, hey, listen, Chef Ed, listen to me, man. I know we both Packer backers. He coming. We gonna be okay. He gonna get it all figured out. We gonna be celebrating next year, Chef Ed.
Thank you for the call, Chef Ed. And real quick, and I'll get to you, Brad. The whole "we coming" thing. How did that work this year?
Yeah, I mean,
listen, that was his first year. Okay, it was his first year. It wasn't the second year. We already know.
I just wish you would proclaim something with a little bit more of a track record, personally, for Jordan Love.
With Chef Ed's comment, I actually totally agree with him because what it comes down to is knowing when to run. I think that's a big deal because you don't see Patrick Mahomes wanting to run the ball a lot. He recognizes the defense and knows this is the time where I got to run. They're giving me those yards. That comes with experience. That comes with situational football knowledge. And Kyle, when it comes to this proclamation, look, I think there's a ton of hope. I think Packer fans should be excited. I know I am. I just got to make sure that they correct some of these flaws along the way, because that was the whole basis of this question. Did they go as far as they should have gone? I firmly believe they do, because there was too many embedded flaws. At some point, it was going to bite them. And it did bite them. So I got to see if the special teams is more dialed in. I want to see what this 4-3 looks like.
Everything.
What the draft looks like.
Everything will be improved.
That
Don't you worry.
you can't just say that without any reasoning.
Rich Bisaccia is too dang good as a coach. Goody
That's
understands.
stupid. He's been here 2 years.
Goody
They got
Goody
worse in his
understands
second
what
year.
they need to do as well.
Goody's had
You
2
brought in
good
Coach
drafts.
You brought in Coach Hafley.
Who?
Coach Hafley. You brought in Coach. Okay, Anthony Campanelli. You brought him in as well. Yeah, he screams to get people ignited. But I'm telling you, don't y'all feel the energy? Don't y'all feel the frequency? Don't y'all just
That's
feel
not
like
real, Kyle.
That is absolutely
If it was real,
There
then
is
everything that we did would have propelled them to a Super Bowl.
something special is happening in front of our eyes, and you guys are acting like you do not see it. You literally saw a quarterback go from being one of the bottom half quarterbacks in the NFL to what he was doing statistically wise to being the top quarterback in the NFL the last 11 games of the season to putting on an absolute show against the Dallas Cowboys in his first playoff game ever, to going toe-to-toe, leading his team, and though he threw an interception late, but still putting his team in a position and an opportunity to potentially beat the 49ers in the playoffs. We are seeing greatness in front of our eyes. We're seeing young players and young weapons develop in front of our eyes. Guys, we are seeing the birth of a great NFL team in the Green Bay Packers that are going to have longevity. Why are we running away from this? Listen, if this
We're listening! You keep saying listen.
I'm just saying, we are witnessing it, and I want y'all to jump on because y'all going to be too late, man. Like Deion said, our bags is Louis too.
That is such a Deion comment. I love the offense. I love Jordan Love. I love what they can do there. But I think what the Super Bowl teaches us is it takes complete teams with complete coaching staffs to be able to actually hoist the Lombardi Trophy.
You basically just said you have blind faith. That's all you told me.
Oh. Goody.
Ryan chimes in. Kyle Wallace and his blind faith. It's very amusing.
Nope.
You're literally just having blind faith.
You know what just confuses me is that you have a football team that I believe finished the season. Correct me if I'm wrong. We went 8-3 to finish the season over our last 11 games. That is
Kyle, year over year, so much changes. Haven't you been a football fan?
Wait a minute. Jordan Love played spectacular, was lights out to end the season. Why do we think that this team is going to regress? Fellas, this team is only getting better. They're the youngest team since the 70s.
Don't just get better every year. It doesn't just mean you're going to get better. You have to give me reasons as to why.
So when the Packers lost in the playoffs against the Cardinals, I believe in the 2009-2010 season, everybody said, hey, this team, in a loss against the Cardinals, this team, they may have it. They got some pieces there. And what did they do the next year?
They were a wild card team. No one was saying they were going to win the Super Bowl that year.
I was.
So
go
just
back
stop.
And look at my social media, baby. Go back.
That's because
I said, listen.
Going through puberty,
okay.
16-year-old.
I must be going through puberty again at 30-some years old, too, because I'm excited for what, and I get a tingly feeling because I'm excited about
JB
what
chimes
can
in. Listening to Kyle spew on and on with nothing to back it up is comical. And I agree. I'm just asking you to back something up. Just saying they're going to be great because of the good season that Jordan Love had at the end here, that doesn't mean the Packers are going to be great. That means you have a great QB. That doesn't mean that no one's going to regress from the wide receiver position. That doesn't mean you don't have holes to fill on the defense.
I'm not
You're
saying we don't
changing
have
your
holes.
scheme. You're trusting in Goody blindly. You don't even know the first thing about Hafley.
I know he knows how to hire a heck of a staff.
Oh, yeah?
We don't know much about the staff.
Listen, we'll play the clip. Play the clip.
Play the hype clip.
Play the clip. I know
Kyle's
all I
gonna
need
run
to
through
know.
a wall after
All
this
I
clip.
need to know, fellas, I'm telling y'all this right
Don't
now.
play the clip.
There is something in the air. The Packers in the last
Something is in the air.
Goody has hit it on the last 2 draft classes. The way to be successful, if Brad said it last week, you got to build through the draft, and then you got to sprinkle in some of those sweets and desserts, I think you said, or something special.
Yeah, some luxuries
You
here
got
and
you
there.
got to buy some luxuries, and this is exactly what Goody's going to do. He's going to get this team some luxuries. As we transition from the 3-4 to the 4-3 defense, he knows we're going to need some luxuries as well. This team is not far off. This team is developing and getting better. They still have good pieces on defense, and they have great developing pieces on offense, and that's why we should be excited. You guys saw what I saw, and we saw a team that Ben even said could have played in the Super Bowl this year. They're going to be ready to go next year.
Cheers to and pour went out. I know my pour went out. It's Kyle next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
See you again.
Oh, you need some.
And then I said, I appreciate it. The same goes for you. Let me know if anything I can do for you. Obviously, what am I going to do for Russell Wilson? You're the man.
Babysitting
Man,
kids
that
when they go to
BFF. Fake relationship of all time.
No way.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Jim Rutledge here for Hanson & Sons, Madison's #1 family-owned chimney and fireplace specialist. To celebrate 71 years of service, Hanson & Sons is offering 7.1% savings on any of their new high-efficiency installed fireplaces or their expert winter masonry chimney repairs. Replace that old, dirty, wood-burning fireplace with a new high-efficiency remote-controlled gas or electric fireplace. Sale ends February 29th. Go to HansonandSons.com today for more information. That's HansonandSons.com.
Life has its moments, times to remember and share. Make the most of those special occasions by visiting Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street. John Hayes from Goodman's Jewelers. We're here to help you make that perfect selection for your memorable moment. When you think of diamonds, you hear about color, cut, clarity, and carat weight. We can help you understand that. But we're equally concerned with earning your trust with the quality of our selection and our service. Goodman'sJewelers.com, in the heart of downtown Madison. Truly a destination worth reaching.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it yourself at 2 convenient Madison locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Honda certified technicians handle it all. You can even get flexible payment options. Fix your car now and pay later. Apply online to see your options in seconds with no hard credit check. Make your service appointment online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Greg Scalzo here for Buckin' Honeys. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buckin' Honeys to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buckin' Honeys experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buckin' Honeys.
At Starion Bank, they pride themselves on being a super community bank. Small enough to show they care about you and the communities they serve, while being large enough to make big things happen. With 3 Madison area branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona, Starion Bank is here investing in your community while offering valuable personal and business banking services. Start your experience with Starion Bank today by going to starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
Spring will be here before you know it, and so will Mark Osiki's 6th annual Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament, Saturday, May 18th on the Madison Chain of Lakes. Created to help children who are fighting cancer at American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. There's a limit of 80 boats for a fun day on the water before 2:30 happy hour at Alliant Energy Center, a silent auction, dinner, and a live auction at 4 o'clock. Help us help the kids. Casting for Kids, Saturday, May 18th. Sign up or donate at castingforkids.org.
Big trailers and big opportunity. Since 1962, Stoughton Trailers has been a family-owned and operated business. With competitive wages and excellent benefits, plus growth and advancement opportunities, Stoughton Trailers is an exciting place to grow your career. Join the collaboration, innovation, and dynamic team atmosphere at Stoughton Trailers, with positions now open in production, operations, finance, sales, engineering, supply chain, and more. Go to stojobs.com to apply today. Stoughton Trailers, big opportunity.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Ben Brust alongside Packer Backer, proudly wearing his Jordan Love jersey, Kyle Wallace. Brad Nortman to my left. You can see it all on YouTube at ESPN Madison, at ESPN Milwaukee. And as always, text us, call us, 800-990-3776. But every Monday after the weekend, we got a cheers to We got to pour one out.
The weekend is over, so let's pop some bottles. It's time for Cheers to and Pour One Out on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Brad, what are you cheersing to?
I would love to cheers, grab my carbless, and take a big old cheers to the specialists in the Super Bowl. That's right, the kickers and the punters. I know that the end of the game was totally overtaken by the greatness of Patrick Mahomes and offense, but you know what? The first half of the game dominated by specialists. The punters were bombing punts, a couple inside the 10. Kickers are setting records left and right with longest field goals in NFL history outside of Jake Moody's blocked PAT, which ended up being a huge difference in the game. The specialists utterly balled out. I even tweeted last night, it's the Super Bowl America didn't even know it needed because the specialists were doing so well. It also made me think of the Green Bay Packers and how much we need Anders Carlson and Daniel Whalen to take that next step, because you got to win games like that sometimes where your specialists dominate field position and hit kicks. Cheers to the specialists last night in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was nice. I like that. Shout out to the special teams folks, even though they got a field goal kick block, but it caused the 49ers to maybe lose the football game. But sure, we'll go with that one. But I'm going to do a different little cheers here. Is that I'm going to cheers to a couple people. I'm going to start with Usher. Cheers to Usher for a great halftime show. I enjoyed listening and watching into the entire show. I was singing and doing my thing. I truly enjoyed it. And also, cheers to, guess what? Taylor Swift. You know I say cheers to Taylor Swift?
Oh, gosh.
Taylor
Here
Swift,
comes a backhanded compliment if I've ever seen one.
Even though her carbon footprint was massive, going from Japan all the way to L.A., then going to Las Vegas. I know she cares about the environment. I enjoyed, she didn't overtake the Super Bowl. She didn't. She had Ice Spice with her. She had Blake Lively with her as well. This box looked pretty cool. I actually enjoyed seeing a couple of the pans to Taylor. She looked like she was having a good time. So cheers to Taylor. Now, I think she tried to chug a beer, too. Is that correct?
I mean, I couldn't tell if it was white wine or beer.
It was pretty sorry effort.
See, look, haters now. Look
come
how the haters
You've
have
never blacked out in your life. You can't judge.
Cheers to Taylor. And lastly, cheers to Beyonce for a phenomenal commercial where she released the album basically in the commercial saying, release the album, release the new music.
It was so good that I didn't even realize.
I had to go. I was on myself. I found myself on social media trying to find a new song during the Super Bowl.
Do you think Beyonce
Did you notice that Taylor as well didn't go up on stage with Travis? She gave him that moment.
I didn't pay attention to that.
Do you think Beyonce realized that Taylor Swift was going to take the headlines on Sunday, and she thought, you know what, I got to do something. I got to do something to compete with Taylor.
Verizon paid that money for that Super Bowl ad, so she said she's going to maximize people being around each other to talk about that. So, hey, cheers to my boy Usher. Cheers to Taylor Swift, who I no longer have any animosity towards. And cheers to Beyonce, the Queen Bee.
I'm going to cheers to Steve Calhoun, who joined us on Friday live from Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Because I'm not going to lie, of all the things that Kyle has said that has no context and reason, one of the reasons that Steve Calhoun got me excited about Jordan Love is telling us the insight as to how he got to where he is and talking about how close and young this group is. Like, Jordan Love is not Patrick Mahomes. But Jordan Love is going to be the franchise quarterback that I believe, because of the way he carries himself, I don't see him ever becoming an Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre. And when I say that, I mean nothing to do with on the field. I mean everything to do with off the field. Jordan Love seems like he's got such a even-keeled, humble, his upbringing that Steve mentioned to us. I think we got a quarterback that is good and one that's not going to drive everyone crazy in 15 years. Cheers to Steve Calhoun for the insight on Jordan Love. You missed that. Go to Wisconsin On Demand.
Now that's a good cheers. Now my opportunity to pour one out. My pour one out, good friend of mine, old teammate.
This sounds, when you say I have to pour one out and you say good friend of mine, that's usually never.
Good friend of mine. I actually
you didn't die, right?
What?
When you usually pour one out.
No, it's just I'm pouring one out for J.J. Watt's haircut. Now, J.J. Watt has really stepped into his media gig so nicely. I mean, when he is working for a CBS and he's on the studio show, he has great insights. He's articulate. He's doing everything that you thought he would do as a former player and a superstar that is just natural for that role. However, he decided, for whatever reason, to take a risk, roll the dice in Vegas, so to speak, and change up the haircut. the haircut went to being kind of like just normal, traditional J.J. Watt to kind of this like spiky 90s grunge band type of haircut. It looked like he was about to be performing with Green Day. And I caught notice of it.
He should have frosted the tips.
I should have frosted the tips. Would have really leaned into it.
You would look like me in 7th grade.
And the whole, you had frosted tips?
Hollister, Abercrombie, the whole nine.
Man, no
I
surprise
like
there.
girls who wear Abercrombie and Fitch.
So yeah.
Oh, great. We just sounded like Tony Romo singing into the out of the broadcast.
So J.J. Watt, new haircut, really interesting. Pour one out for the haircut specifically, but he redeemed himself with this hilarious tweet after the fact. He said, quote, "You ever switch up your hair and wonder if anyone will notice? They notice."
They sure do.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
It was bad.
It wasn't bad.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
What's worse than bad?
Horrible.
What's worse than horrible?
Train wreck.
What's worse than train wreck?
Dumpster fire.
There it is.
Nice.
Kyle?
Yeah, for me, I'm pouring one out for these Wisconsin Badgers basketball team. I'm so sick of this. I am sick of this. Listen, I look and I see the Badgers are down by like 15 to against Rutgers. Like, what is going on? So I'm pouring one out to Wisconsin Badgers. And Ben, you better make a phone call. You better
Nothing
do
like an
something.
early February pour out to a college basketball
They've
team.
lost 4 games in a row to some sorry teams. You need to make a phone call.
Lost 5 of 6 in Big Ten play when we went to the Final Four. Now,
Ben.
I don't think this team has a Frank Kaminsky, but
You need to do a Capinelli type speech
You
to that
do
team.
something.
That's what it's gonna
I'm
take.
not a Capinelli speech guy.
You
I'm
are.
not a speech guy.
It's inside of you, Ben. You got it.
You need to text our good friend Coach.
Coach got it. Coach has got it.
I thought Coach had it, but then Coach went and lost to Michigan, and then he lost to Rutgers.
This has been a fascinating Kyle Wallace
Go out
show.
there and honor the people you love. Play as hard as you can. Attack the ball like it's some guy running down the street or your mother, your father. I don't know who the my kids.
get the
whatever.
rebound.
Like, that would make me out of my mind.
Yeah, that's what they needed.
That's Greg Gard talking to the team before their game coming up.
Definitely not what he said to them.
Is it Joe?
Or the shoot around.
Anthony Campanelli.
Is it Tony? Is it?
That's a great question.
Don't disrespect my new coach.
Antonio.
Y'all gonna know his name. Anthony Campanelli.
I love that you care more about the inside linebacker's defensive run coordinator
Jeff.
than you do about the actual defensive
I like
coordinator.
Jeff. Everybody needs their right-hand man.
Yeah, first name basis.
I would like to pour one out to Tony Romo. He sucks! He's so bad! He won't shut up! Let me enjoy a freaking moment! I mean... You suck! Yes! Yes! He was so bad yesterday. Singing into break because he saw Adele. Making Jim Nantz sing into break. Like, going into break. Like, everything he did was an absolute... As you had said, Brad, train wreck. I just wanted to tweet, Tony Romo, shut the bleep up. But I couldn't do that because I can't put swear words in my tweets because that's a bad look. Tony Romo, pour one out for once being known as the up-and-coming broadcaster to one that should be replaced immediately.
Hello from the other side.
I can't keep... Yo, are you good, man?
You got
ADD?
Maybe. I like Tony Romo.
Of course you do.
I like Tony Romo. I like random stuff like that. That's why I can't.
You know how we counted F-bombs from Mr. Campanelli? He did 15. Apparently there was 41 gyms yesterday. And I think that's probably light.
Oh, Jim. I don't know how he does it, but he does that. He says that all the time. He leans into that,
yeah,
Jim.
Jim, you see that? I liked it. I liked the energy.
Jimmy might have caught it. It might be a first down.
That's pretty good.
Oh, yep, he got it. He got it.
Where everyone in the audience can see what I'm seeing, but I'm just saying it anyway. Jim.
That's what he's supposed to do. You're just a hater.
No, I'm not.
I
Everyone.
don't mind Tony. I feel like I feel like it's almost like a rule you need to have a strong, like you either love him or hate him. I'm kind of in the middle.
He's
like,
just
all right.
bad.
Oh, he's not bad. He's intelligent. He can call out plays before it happens. Yep. See, they run that play right there. Yep. I like that.
I heard him say
And
like
he's from
5
Wisconsin.
times, Jim, I'd go for a 4th down on this one. Like in the weirdest times.
We
Like,
were
wait a
in
minute, what?
overtime,
Yeah.
and the Niners got the ball on their own 30s, like it's 4-down territory. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was bold.
I'm with him. I like him. I think we need
I
to
like him
respect
too.
the hometown guy.
It's not an easy job either.
It is not. The pride and joy of Burlington, Wisconsin.
Cheers to and pour one out right there, but just cheers to Carbless like you did, Brad, and tell us about it.
I'm always cheering to Carbless. That's because Carbless, it's my favorite go-to beverage. I'll tell you what, whether it be this weekend, like Saturday night, I'm just hanging back, or I'm watching the big game, I'm going down, I'm cracking.
Carbless.
Look at the carbless there. Look how Brad's drinking it. Because I'm always drinking carbless. It's my favorite go-to cocktail. I can drink it without the health guilt. You guys know me. I'm working out. I'm trying to eat healthy. I'm not willing to sacrifice when it comes to being able to enjoy myself at night. And carbless has 0 carbs, no sugar, 100 calories per can, gluten-free, less carbonation, just the right amount of carbonation to just make it delicious, but not so much that you feel that bloat like every other drink. And it's made right here in Wisconsin, which is another thing that I love about carbless. But not just that, it's the flavors. I'm talking to some of you guys on our group chat on here on YouTube. You guys are trying it online. You're tasting mojito. I know they just come out with a couple new flavors. So you guys are trying it too and understanding why it is so good, why it's so refreshing, and you don't experience any guilt when drinking it. Experience why less is more and find them online and at retailers near you.
Jason Wilde joins us next.
Jim. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Giannis does look like a longer, he beats on his body, like kind of plays so rough you wonder about. Shut up, Max. Yeah.
I'm not letting that one pass.
Yeah, I just realized beats on his body. Like, I meant like physical.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
Physicality down there.
On, Kyle.
No, you guys are, I don't know what it is, but I'm sure your minds are in the gutter. Grow up.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Brust here for Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. It's been over 4.5 years I've worked with Zimbrick European. It's time for you to stop on by and check out all the inventory they have to offer. You can also go to ZimbrickEuropean.com for certified pre-owns, Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, electric vehicles. They literally have it all for you. It's your one-stop shop. Don't forget about Mercedes-Benz Sprinter vans as well. Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Check it out. You will enjoy it.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save on bulk purchases of select insulation from trusted brands like Green Fiber. And there's more. Save 10% when you buy 6 or more select interior pre-hung and slab doors. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
If you only have a 401k, you're not getting the most for retirement.
Wait, what?
Add a Robinhood IRA on top, then they'll boost it by 3%.
You can do that?
And if you transfer in any retirement account, you get 3% on top of that.
Is there a limit to the match?
No limit. Robinhood Gold gets you the biggest contribution match of any IRA on the market. Sign up for Robinhood Gold at Robinhood.com/boost by April 30th. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Match on transfers subject to additional terms and conditions. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Thinking about updating your bath or shower? Well, turn to Kohler Services for end-to-end bath and shower remodeling. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. This month only, get a free toilet with your Lugstone shower purchase, and you pay nothing until 2025. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Jim Rutledge here to talk to you about North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, the official barbecue joint of Rutledge and Hamilton and the official barbecue joint of the Rutledge household. We love going to all 3 of their locations, whether it's in DeForest, Madison, or in Verona. We get the same great service and food every time we go, no matter the location. Even better, when we have parties, cookouts, or anything in between, I don't have to spend all my time over the grill. Instead, I give a call to the folks at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. So hurry in to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, the official barbecue joint of Rutledge and Hamilton and the official barbecue joint of the Rutledge household.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Wisconsin.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Tell me now, do you want it? 'Cause these dancing feet don't cry to the rhythm they cry for you.
Joining us as he does every Monday, but I can keep a decent clock at this time, is Jason Wilde of Wilde and Tausch across ESPN Wisconsin. You can hear him on Wilde and Tausch 9 to noon. I'm Ben Brust alongside Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman. We are Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Jason, one of the bigger takeaways that I have from the Super Bowl in looking at the Green Bay Packers is when I watched both the Chiefs D-line and the Niners D-line, it just made me think, and I'd be curious, when is the last time the Packers had like a really dominant position group?
Well, hi, guys. I would a position group in general, or like a front group like those two teams have?
I mean, like
Because
linebackers, cornerback and safeties, like front
I
four.
Okay, Ben, I just wanted to know if you wanted the defensive line specifically or a variety of position groups. First of all, I would say that their outside linebacker group or their front four in 2019, when they were toward the top in sacks and both the Smith brothers were going and playing really well, I would say that their corner group, when both Jair Alexander and Rasul Douglas in 2021 were on top of their games. Now, obviously, Jair ended up missing a bunch of time with that shoulder injury that year, which is what led them to get Rasul Douglas. But if you look at their defense last year, in Joe Barry's second year, even though they didn't make the playoffs, we felt pretty good about their corner group, especially before the season-ending injury in Detroit to Eric Stokes. So, I mean, they've had some really good groups on defense. Now, I'm not a huge believer in the inside linebacker group right now. I still think they're going to probably move on from Devondre Campbell, but maybe not. But I was expecting a big jump from Quay Walker this year. I didn't get it. So on defense, I think they've got some decisions to make at inside linebacker. They've got now all those edge rushers are now defensive ends. So it'll be interesting to see how the defensive line group comes together. And then, they're wide open at safety. They've got two guys under contract right now. So that's not a great situation either.
Jason, I said today that, reflecting on the season after watching the Super Bowl, the Packers went exactly as far as they should have this year with a divisional round loss. Even though it was kind of a heartbreaking loss, they had a lot of flaws that you just knew were going to bite them somewhere along the way. So I said, this is exactly as far as they should have went. What do you say to that? Do you agree or disagree?
I say that's an incredibly reasonable take, which makes it extremely controversial. There's a lot of Packers fans that really believe that they could have won the Super Bowl. And look, they could have, but here's the thing, and you know this from having played in the league. It takes so many things for you. You played in the Super Bowl, right? And the idea, you went to an AFC Championship game with the Jaguars, right? Like,
That's right.
To get to those points in the season, all the teams are varying degrees of good. Mike McCarthy used to have this thing that there are three types of NFL players because they're all good. There's good players who are capable of great moments, and then there are great players. And my point is that, yeah, the Packers could have been playing yesterday. They would have had to play mistake-free football, largely, right? I mean, the mistakes that they made against the 49ers that ensured that they were not playing yesterday, 2 dropped interceptions, a missed field goal at a critical moment, an interception with a chance to go drive and take the lead or tie the game. Those are all the kinds of mistakes that you have to avoid, especially in critical moments when you want to advance to a Super Bowl. Now, you look at yesterday, Christian McCaffrey lost a fumble, Isaiah Pacheco lost a fumble, Patrick Mahomes threw an interception. So those are moments that were earlier in the game, still critical, don't get me wrong, but plenty of time to recover from them, and recover from them the Chiefs did, right? And so I look at the Packers and say they earned everything they got, both good and bad, that their season ended when it did. And it sets the table magnificently for them next year. They obviously, everybody, including the San Francisco 49ers, have to start over, as Tausch likes to say, at the bottom of Mount Everest. And we'll have to wait and see if the Packers can put together the same kind of journey that they put together this year, or a better one, which, they went 9-8. I think reasonable people can pick them to go 11-6 or something like that. But again, there's a lot of variables, and I think you're exactly right, but don't let Tausch hear me say that, because he spent a lot of time believing that they should have been playing yesterday.
Hey, Jason, how you doing?
Kyle!
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Good talking to you again. And you were just talking about climbing Mount Everest. What exactly do you think the Packers need to do? What are the next steps in order for the Packers to have the pieces they need to fully climb Mount Everest? Because I am in the space of thinking that the Packers are a legitimate Super Bowl threat for next year. But please help me. What is the next steps the Packers need to take to climb Mount Everest?
So they are, but I thought it was interesting. I got some futures lines that I had sent to me today.
Yeah,
for next
Shapiro?
year's Super Bowl.
I thought you were talking about the rapper
yeah.
Future. I was going to say, what lyrics do you have from Future?
The Lions
no,
were
enjoy
7-1, Jason. The Packers were 16-1, which I thought was interesting.
The Cowboys are 18-1. The Eagles are 18-1. I'm just doing NFC. Obviously, the 49ers are 6-1, so they're the favorite in the NFC. But again, that's a team that A, has to recover from a Super Bowl disappointment, and B, is not getting any younger, whereas the Packers are in a really good spot in terms of having a bunch of young guys who got a ton of experience and now should benefit from that next year. So, look, there's 7 teams that make the NFC and AFC playoffs each. Only one gets a bye. That is not a guarantee that you will make the Super Bowl. The 49ers did. The Baltimore Ravens didn't. But the Packers are most clearly in that mix. They've got the third best odds in the NFC, right? I mean, that tells you right there that we all think that they're, both we and the folks that set those types of lines, believe that they are a contender. But again, the challenge here is not, I don't think there's any debate that they're a Super Bowl contender. The debate is, when the games are on the line and the most critical moments come upon them, are they going to be up to the task or not? And we won't know until they're in that situation, because let's be honest, we have just, especially for you, Kyle, as a die-hard Packers fan, we have gone through a very lengthy Super Bowl berth drought while having one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history playing the position. And if you want to add that to that Brett Favre after Super Bowl 32, that's an awfully long drought.
Yes, it is.
And so, Jason, with all that being said, like, Goody obviously drafted Love, and that makes up for the 2020 draft in a lot of people's eyes. But there's also been a lot of misses even up to that. You can argue 2022 was good. Last year was obviously good. What would you focus on if you're Goody through draft and free agency? Like, how do you prioritize which guys we need to pick up in free agency versus this guy's in the draft? Like, do you just go with the board, or like, how do you think Goody will go about the team building process? Because it's, again, like you just mentioned it. You had Aaron Rodgers. This team has some holes. They have talent offensively, but I'm watching last games, 2 defenses play really, really well. The special teams be bad the last couple years. Like, do we trust Goody to be able to put those parts together?
Well, he's done a pretty good job, right? I mean, look, I think the jury is very much still out on the 2022 draft. I mean, I don't think, I haven't seen anything from Devontae Wyatt that would tell me, boy, this guy's really good. He's going to be a difference maker. He's going to be a field tilting player for these guys moving forward. I haven't. I expected Quay Walker to make a very meaningful jump, and I did not see that occur. Right, and so Watson has dealt with the hamstring issues, so we don't know what he is. Sean Ryan looks like he's being penciled in as the starting right guard, and they're going to let Runyon leave. I hate Sean Ryan. John Runyon always gets me tripped up. They hit on Zach Tom. I think everyone likes Romeo Dobbs. Enigbare was really in a good spot before his injury, right? So there's a lot of really good football players there.
Where does Quay
flip
fit in a
side,
4-3? Sorry, real quick.
He'll be the middle linebacker, I would think. Maybe they put him outside and have him get to the edges. But he's a really good athlete. He runs like the wind. He's got great size. I'm eager to see if he puts it together, because I thought this was the year he was going to put it together, and he had the pick in the first game, the pick 6, and then he never really went much further than that last season. So, look, they've got a really good rookie class that we're expecting to make a huge year 2 jump. Both the GM and the coach are putting the pressure on those guys to make a big jump and not just be happy with what they were able to do as rookies. But you go back to the 21 draft, that's the group that's going to be free agents. And I look at that list. Eric Stokes, who knows what he is? Josh Myers improved during the second half of last season, but do we think that he's playing in his last year and they'll replace him? Probably. That's what I think. Amari Rodgers is gone. Royce Newman isn't on the team, is probably not going to be back next year, I would think. I would think that they would draft multiple offensive linemen, and he would be the one who'd be in danger. TJ Slayton has been inconsistent, like many defensive linemen are. Shamar John Charles is gone. Cole Van Lanen is gone. Kylan Hill is gone. And they've got Isaiah McDuffie, who could be an option at one of the linebacker spots. So the last 3 drafts, everyone's very excited about last year, and rightfully so. But I'm not sure that there's been that many home runs at 22 and 21. And you mentioned 20 with Jordan Love and John Runyon, but that's about it out of that draft that you've got to show for it. And when John Runyon leaves in free agency, you don't have him to show for it either, because I'm guessing they're not going to bring back Josiah DeGuara. So they've got their work cut out for them. Goody's got to be – I mean, the dream scenario is that Goody has the kind of draft on the defensive side of the ball that he had on the offensive side of the ball, whatever it was, 9-10 months ago. And if that happens, then they're in a really good spot. But that's a pretty big ask, because drafts like they had on offense last year are not easy to pull off, but it looks like he did.
Well, Jason, we appreciate you going through those draft classes with us. It will definitely be interesting to see how this shakes out. We got a lot to figure out in the next 6 to 8 months here.
They do. We don't. We know that you've got this under control, and Kyle's going to be all excited, and Brad's going to be the voice of reason. Like, we don't have anything to figure out.
Yes, sir. You sound like the texters right now. Literally spot on. We appreciate the time, Jason.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. React to Jason's comments there, because I think there's something there, right? Like, going through those draft classes, it's easy for Kyle to talk about and just get excited about names, but in terms of actual production, you're going to need them to hit on some defensive picks. They've used their first-round pick so many times on defense. Can they actually hit on a couple of those and build upon that, especially safety position? Lot to be figured out this offseason if they want to be Super Bowl contenders like Kyle thinks. All coming up next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
My offer, as we've come up with at KBN, thanks to JD and Fondy, reutilizing Judy, who's still in my garage right now.
Is she a big booty Judy or a little flapjack booty Judy?
She's got a little something to her. I'll say that.
She got some
Judy the blow-up doll. She got a little something to her.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. Wisconsin head football coach Luke Fickell was on Wilde and Tausch on ESPN Wisconsin last week and touched on the current state of college athletics with the evolution of name, image, likeness, and the transfer portal.
I don't ever say the game is changing. I say it's evolving, right? Because really, when it comes down to it, the ball goes down. Those five guys or three guys that they're across from, that doesn't change, right? And that's where the game is still the beauty of what it is.
Find the full conversation with Luke Fickell on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Wilde and Tausch.
Get 0% interest for up to 3 years or get no money down, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
ESPN Madison is on Wisconsin Sports. Catch up on anything you missed on the Varsity Podcast on Wisconsin On Demand. Brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Honda, shop local, part of the Madison community since 1973.
Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company is a Madison original, brewing award-winning craft beers for nearly 30 years. Whether you're a fan of Pilsners, IPAs, Stouts, or Sours, the Danes team of brewers always have something new on tap. Or if you're in the mood for a classic, enjoy the German Pilsner or Crop Circle Wheat. For a full tap list, head to one of their locations in Fitchburg, Hilldale, downtown, or East Madison, or visit GreatDanePub.com. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Every Thursday this football season, huddle up for the Great Dane Huddle, live from the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company.
Barry pulls me over. He goes, "Get your ass in there, take that cigar, throw it out. You ain't like these guys." I don't know what these guys are. So I went from like smiling to like getting serious again.
The Great Dane Huddle with Alex Strofe, Tarek Salam, and Derek Engler. Thursdays at 6 on 100.5 ESPN.
It's official. 2023 was the biggest jackpot year on record at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Check out these totals. We had over 57,000 jackpots and more than $134 million in winnings. This shatters our previous record year, and we have no intention of stopping here. And with our 95% average payout, we continue to be the official home of the big win right here in Madison. Let's keep it going in 2024 with even more jackpots at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Listen up, guys. If you haven't been giving your significant other chocolates from Gail Ambrosius Chocolatier, then you've been doing it all wrong. Your wife or girlfriend will love the handcrafted, unique chocolates created right here in Madison. Stop by their store on Atwood and enjoy the ultimate chocolate experience today. Once you taste the difference that locally owned and made chocolate provides, you'll never go back to buying a mass-produced box of chocolate ever again. Show her you care by getting a box of chocolate from Gail Ambrosius Chocolatier on Atwood.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club, because you know what? When you're there, just look around. You'll see upgrades all the time to the equipment, the facility, the locker room, whatever it may be. They have something for you. For me, I don't want that dad bod. Free childcare with the membership is going to help that. Open 24/7. They have something for everyone. 8 locations in Madison, 1 in New Berlin. Find your better tomorrow. And all you need to do is have the courage to step into one of their facilities, get a tour, and you will love it. The Princeton Club. Join for a better tomorrow. Ben Brust here alongside Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman. We are KBN across ESPN Wisconsin. We just were joined by Jason Wilding. If you missed that, catch it on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts. And, you know, a lot of us do this exercise where we talk about Goody's drafts and go through it. When we were talking to Jason and going through 2022, 2021, and even thinking about 2020, I was really just Jordan Love and I believe blanking on the offensive lineman. Regardless, I care about defensive players because all the capital that's been invested in defensive players, Jason said it, they need to have a draft that was like this year for the offense, this next year for the defense. And it's hard for me to have optimism that Goody's going to be able to hit on something like that.
Well, and it's ironic, too, because you look at the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Their defense is young. Between 2020 and 2022, 2023, they put a lot of draft capital toward the defense, and they've got all pros on the cornerbacks. They've got some stud middle linebackers, and obviously they got some guys up front that are able to get pressure on the quarterback and stop the run. So it's possible. It's certainly possible to do it as a sustainable way to build the defense. But Goody gets a lot of credit for Jordan Love and the offense. But deservingly so, as he does. He needs to start hitting on the defense, though, because it's clearly able to be done. That's the only way to realistically do it for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, for me, the Green Bay Packers, 2023 was a big year. 2023 was a big year because the draft class that you got, we're talking about the offensive side. The defensive side did fine, too. Lucas Van Ness is going to be okay.
He didn't do anything, and is going to be okay is based off of nothing.
He's going to be okay. What we should be criticizing Goody for, because at this point right now, he did a good job in 2023. 2022 was okay. The biggest issue that we should have with Goody is that, as Jason said, a field-tilting type player defensively. The guy that we talked about, the difference maker defensively. That is the area he has failed at, and that's why sometimes if you can't find a difference maker that you can actually draft, that's why you need to dip into your little money bags and you need to throw money at somebody, because you cannot, if you identify, I don't have the ability to find this type of player, but we have money that we can throw at this type of player that can be an impact player. We did it for Charles Woodson. We tried to do it for Julius Peppers as well. We did it for Reggie White. It's about that time that the Packers throw money at somebody to get somebody to be a difference. Yeah, listen, to be a difference maker for this team for the next 3 to 4 years.
Not enough
window
credit
is open.
there for a Lizzo poll. I don't even
that
know.
was pretty good.
Music.
No, it
That
wasn't
was pretty
good.
good.
The poll was good, but it wasn't.
I'm not Lizzo. Of course it wasn't going to be that good. The poll is what I was looking for. Chris, get it on the poll for the 414 at 4. Or excuse me, the 414 at 4.
Thank you.
Because we're going to be here on 94.5 ESPN in 2 minutes. Rutledge and Hamilton in Madison. Most important for the Packers offseason in 2024. Goody hitting on the picks, Goody spending money, or Jordan Love's development? Because, Kyle, you said reaching into the money bags. I think that's important. But, again, you still have to hit on the draft because the draft is for the future. 2-3 years. You got to be able to have these guys come in and make an impact. They haven't right now. We'll be back in 2 minutes discussing that. 800-990-3776. Don't go anywhere.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions.